single moment can reverse the flow of destiny. There is no room for hesitation, only the stark realities of trial and the raw struggle for existence. Every creature composes its own heroic anthem of survival. And in this unforgiving ballet, only the strongest will endure. On the savannah, there are no promises. Each dawn is a new test, each dusk a hard-won victory. It is a realm where the circle of life never ceases, where each species must carve its own path to endure. Prepare for a journey into this wild universe, to uncover tales of adaptation, extraordinary strategies, and breathtaking moments of natural power. The dawn begins to stain the grasslands in hues of gold and bronze. A faint chill from the night still clings to the air, but soon the sun will command the horizon. Amidst the rustle of grass and the distant calls of birds, a roar erupts with ground-shaking force. It is the call of the king. A fully grown male lion appears in a clearing, his thick, dark mane glinting in the sunlight. Hundreds of pounds of muscle, a magnificent mane, and a gaze of cold, indisputable authority. Do you think it is easy to be king? Look deeper into the eyes of this lord of the savannah. That proud mane and thunderous roar conceal a little-known truth. Even a king must fight relentlessly to keep his crown, and sometimes depend on others to survive. Standing nearly 4 feet at the shoulder and weighing close to 420 pounds, he is a formidable giant. His territory is vast, stretching up to 100 square miles. Here, every tree, waterhole, and rock bears his scent, marked with urine and deep claw gashes. But such an immense kingdom cannot be protected by a solitary individual. Contrary to popular belief, it is not the male who provides for the pride. That role belongs to the lionesses, the true strategists of survival. Lionesses are exceptional hunters. They are lighter and more agile, their bodies built for speed and stamina. When hunger strikes, they move out in silence, their keen eyes scanning the plains. A herd of zebra is grazing placidly just a short distance away. The hunters know they must approach undetected. They spread out in a crescent, using every dip in the terrain and every bush for cover. The wait is agonizingly long. Minutes stretch into hours as they watch, calculate, and patiently bide their time. Then, in an almost imperceptible instant, the tension breaks. The lionesses surge forward, reaching an astonishing speed. The unfortunate zebra bolts, but its effort is in vain. With a precise leap, a lioness sinks her claws into its flank. The pride finally has its meal, but on the savannah, even success can be fleeting. The wind carries a chilling, throaty sound, a series of laughs, yet containing no joy. Within a lion pride, the bond is not just strength, but something sacred, family. Affectionate head rubs, the calls that carry on the wind, are how they remind one another that no one walks alone. The cubs find safety in their mother's embrace, and the females rely on each other during the arduous hunts. Even the majestic king needs the quiet protection of his pride, for power is never absolute. On a savannah fraught with peril, unity becomes a shield more resilient than any fang or claw. It is where kinship transcends the harsh laws of survival, proving that true strength lies in devotion. And so it is with us. No matter how far we roam, we eventually return to where a loving gaze awaits. Family, be it of humans or of lions, remains the most enduring kingdom, one no enemy can conquer. A clan of spotted hyenas is approaching. With their rounded ears and cunning eyes, they advance with an air of confidence. These creatures, often labeled as mere thieves, are in fact much more than simple opportunists. Organized into clans that can exceed 80 members, hyenas have a matriarchal society where females hold dominion. Their jaws are a marvel of natural engineering, delivering a crushing bite force capable of splintering bones too thick for even a lion to break. This allows them to utilize every last remnant of a carcass, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. But make no mistake, hyenas are also masterful hunters. They possess almost supernatural stamina, capable of pursuing prey over long distances until the victim collapses from sheer exhaustion. Now, as the hyena pack closes in, the lionesses growl, refusing to yield their prize. For a few moments, all other sounds of the savannah seem to fall silent. The tension is palpable, but as the hyenas' numbers grow, the balance of power shifts. One by one, the lionesses are forced to retreat. In an instant, the clan descends upon the carcass. Cackles and clicks fill the air as powerful jaws crush bone, reducing even the toughest parts to dust. It is a brutal, yet necessary, reminder. On the savannah, nothing is guaranteed. Every meal is a battle won with tooth and claw. As the sun climbs higher, both predators disperse. The lions return to patrolling their territory. The hyenas vanish into the tall grass. The sun is at its zenith, the heat shimmering in the air like a mirage. Across the plain, a colossal dark shape moves with serene grace. The African elephant, the largest terrestrial mammal on the planet, walks with a steady gait, each footstep pressing deep into the arid earth. Reaching heights of over 10 feet and weighing more than 7 tons, it is truly a great engineer of the natural world. Its tusks, which can grow to more than 6.5 feet, are not just symbols of majesty, but also essential tools for digging for water. The trunk, with its approximately 40,000 muscles, is a masterpiece of precision and power. It is used to pluck the most delicate leaves from a branch, yet it can also lift heavy logs. Approaching an acacia tree, the elephant wraps its trunk around the stem and, with a powerful twist, brings the entire tree crashing to the ground. This seemingly destructive act opens up space for other vegetation, creating clearings where sunlight can reach the ground. Elephants are social animals, living in family groups led by the oldest female, the matriarch. Her experience is vital to the herd's survival, for she holds the memory of ancient trails leading to hidden waterholes and green pastures. But even a giant like the elephant faces challenges on the savannah. The relentless search for water during the dry season can force them to travel dozens of miles each day. When they find a river or a pool, the scene becomes almost magical. The herd gathers, drinking their fill, while many immerse themselves for a cooling bath. Not far away, another of the savannah's giants approaches with the caution of a seasoned warrior. The rhinoceros, with its thick hide like a suit of armor, appears almost invulnerable. Weighing up to nearly 3 tons and possessing horns that can reach 2 feet in length, it is a formidable presence. Unlike the elephant, the rhinoceros is more solitary, spending much of its day grazing or resting in the shade. Despite its size and strength, the rhino has relatively poor eyesight. To compensate, its sense of smell is exceptionally keen, allowing it to detect the presence of other animals from a great distance. When threatened, it becomes ferocious, charging at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour and using its horn like a deadly lance. Yet, there are also moments of peace. At a mud wallow, the rhino indulges, coating its body in a thick layer of mud, a natural defense against parasites and the scorching sun. This quiet scene is essential in an environment where every day is a test of endurance. Though different in their habits and behaviors, the elephant and the rhinoceros share common ground. Both play a crucial role in the ecosystem. Their actions, whether felling trees or clearing paths through dense bush, benefit countless other species. As the afternoon wears on, the sound of heavy footfalls and snapping branches in the distance marks the movements of these great creatures. As night approaches, they retreat to safer areas, leaving the savannah to the returning predators. The sun is low now, casting long shadows across the savannah. Among the sparse acacia trees, tall, elegant figures emerge. They are giraffes, the silent sentinels of this ecosystem. Standing up to 18 feet tall, they are the loftiest land animals on the planet. Their impressive 18-inch tongue, covered in tough skin, deftly navigates the sharp thorns of the acacia to pluck tender shoots and leaves. Every movement is graceful, almost choreographed. They feed in small groups, always maintaining a high level of vigilance. Their eyes, positioned on the sides of their heads, provide a panoramic view, detecting even the slightest sign of danger. Despite their great size and gentle appearance, giraffes are by no means defenseless. When cornered, they can deliver kicks powerful enough to break a predator's bones. However, the giraffe prefers to avoid conflict, using its superior height to spot threats and move away before it is too late. But while they browse the treetops below, the grass stirs. A cheetah, almost invisible, is on the prowl. Its eyes are fixed on a small group of impala grazing a short distance away. The cheetah is the very definition of pure speed. With a slender body and long, powerful limbs, it is born to run. It can reach 70 miles per hour in just a few seconds, thanks to an incredibly flexible spine, large nostrils, and a heart capable of pumping blood at a furious rate. It approaches with light steps, moving against the wind to remain undetected. Every muscle is tensed, ready for the decisive moment. When the distance closes to less than 200 feet, it explodes into motion. In 3 seconds, it has reached a speed of nearly 60 miles per hour. The chase is violent but brief. In less than 30 seconds, it will all be over. With a final, precise leap, the cheetah brings down its prey, suffocating it with a firm bite to the throat. But the effort comes at a cost. The big cat's heart is beating so fast that it must rest before it can even begin to eat. This moment of vulnerability can attract other predators, like lions or hyenas, who would not hesitate to steal its prize. While the cheetah recovers, the savannah returns to its natural rhythm. The giraffes, ever watchful, continue their slow procession. The contrast between them and the swift hunter encapsulates the complexity of this ecosystem. Strength and agility, patience and explosive power, all coexisting in a fragile balance. The day is ending, and the heat begins to subside. The evening breeze carries the scent of earth and grass, as the savannah prepares for the changes that night will bring. Near the wetlands, where the elephants just passed, another elegant silhouette begins to draw the eye, the grey-crowned crane. With their long, slender legs and graceful gait, they resemble royal dancers performing amidst the wild grasslands. Their sturdy, sharp grey beaks are perfect tools for survival, ever ready to probe the mud for insects, frogs, or roots. Atop their heads sits a crown of brilliant golden feathers, shimmering like a delicate halo in the fading afternoon light. Grey-crowned cranes are distinguished not only by their regal beauty, but also by their resonant calls, a haunting, low-pitched melody in the quiet expanse. Their mating call can travel for miles, like a whisper of the wind carried to the sun-scorched grass. When the breeding season arrives, the savannah witnesses one of the most romantic and intricate courtships in the natural world. The two birds circle, spread their wings, and perform spectacular high jumps, synchronizing in a passionate dance of love. Their bond does not end with that moment, for grey-crowned cranes are among the few savannah birds that remain faithful for life. Despite their delicate appearance, they possess an incredible survival instinct against the constant threats of the plains. Their wide wings, with a span of up to 6.5 feet, allow them to take flight with ease, gliding on the winds to escape the clutches of leopards or jackals. Unlike many of their crane relatives, they are able to roost and nest high in the trees, thanks to a grasping hind toe. From their elevated perch, they act as other silent sentinels of the plains, their eyes scanning the marshlands below. As the daylight wanes, the tall, slender figures of the crane pair are silhouetted against a fiery red sky, creating a poetic sunset tableau. This moment of peace for the savannah's dancers concludes a vibrant chapter under the sun, blending perfectly into nature's transitional hour. Dusk transforms the savannah into a mosaic of brilliant golds and lengthening shadows. Amid the heavy silence, the thud of hooves echoes like a warning. A herd of African buffalo is approaching, kicking up dust that mingles with the hot air. With a muscular frame of nearly 2,000 pounds covered in a dark coat, the buffalo is considered one of Africa's most dangerous herbivores. Their horns, which fuse at the base to form a shield-like boss, are lethal weapons used for both defense and establishing dominance. The strength of this animal is complemented by the collective intelligence of the herd. Herds can number in the hundreds, and when threatened, they instinctively form a defensive formation. The strongest males create an outer barrier, while females and young remain protected in the center. This defensive behavior is so effective that even the lion, the king of the savannah, must think twice before launching an attack. Nevertheless, confrontations do occur. When a predator dares to come too close, the consequences can be catastrophic. Charging at speeds up to 34 miles per hour, a buffalo is capable of tossing a lion into the air with its horns. While the buffalo commands the open plains, another giant reigns by the riverbanks, the hippopotamus. At first glance, its round body and slow terrestrial movements can be misleading, but behind this calm facade lies one of Africa's most unpredictable animals. Weighing up to 1.5 tons, the hippopotamus spends most of its day submerged in rivers and pools. Its sensitive skin requires constant moisture, and its eyes, ears, and nostrils are positioned atop its head, allowing it to breathe and observe while underwater. But as the sun begins to set, they leave their aquatic refuge and march in search of pasture, traveling several miles in the night. Although they are herbivores, their enormous jaws, capable of opening to 150 degrees, are a real threat to anything that stands in their way. With canine teeth that can reach 20 inches in length, a hippopotamus can bite with terrifying force. Territorial disputes between males are true spectacles of aggression. Two rivals face off, mouths agape in a threatening display, before charging at each other with fury. Even at rest, the hippopotamus influences its habitat. As they enter and exit the water, they create natural channels that help maintain the flow of rivers during the dry season. As night falls, the savannah transforms. The buffalo herd gathers closer, alert to the sounds of the darkness. Two giants, different in their habits, but equally vital to the survival of this wild world. The early wind stirs the golden grasses, revealing a deep, rhythmic thunder that spreads across the savannah like a distant storm. It is the sound of thousands of hooves, heralding one of Earth's greatest natural spectacles, the great migration of zebra and wildebeest. On the horizon, a sea of stripes begins to form. These are the zebra, their striped patterns so unique they are like individual fingerprints. No two are ever the same. Each of these stripes has a purpose. They confuse the vision of predators, making it difficult to single out a target when the herd is in motion. Zebras live in family groups led by a dominant stallion. He defends his group fiercely, ever watchful for any sign of danger. They are not alone. Amidst the stripes, the grey, more robust figures of the wildebeest appear. Numbering around 1.5 million, wildebeest form endless columns, crossing the savannah in search of fresh grass and water. It is a journey of more than 500 miles, fraught with peril, but driven by the primal urge to survive. The strength of the wildebeest lies not in its speed nor its aggression, but in its numbers. Together, they become an unstoppable force. When a river bars their path, like the famed Mara River, the challenge becomes even more intense. The deep waters conceal enormous crocodiles, silent predators waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Yet, the migratory flow does not stop. One by one, the wildebeest plunge into the current, followed by the zebras. Some will not survive the crossing, but for the majority, reaching the other side means another step towards life. The association between zebra and wildebeest is far more than mere coincidence. Zebras, with their selective appetites, graze on the taller grasses, leaving the softer shoots preferred by the wildebeest. In return, the wildebeest provide their striped companions with an additional layer of protective vigilance. Meanwhile, predators watch from a distance. Lions and hyenas know that the migration offers a unique opportunity for a great feast. When the dust finally settles and the last group has crossed, the plains look as if they have been swept by a storm. The cycle of migration, as ancient as the savannah itself, is not just an act of movement. It is a reminder of the interdependence of all species. The sun sets on the savannah, painting the sky in vibrant shades of orange and purple. As the light fades, a new phase of the day begins, bringing to the stage creatures that favor the cover of darkness. Among them, a master of stealth glides silently through the night, the leopard. With its muscular, agile body covered in rosettes that mimic the play of light and shadow in the foliage, it is almost invisible to the untrained eye. Weighing around 130 pounds, the leopard combines power and elegance in a way few predators can match. Unlike the lion, it is a solitary hunter. Its keen senses, powerful night vision, and precise hearing make it a ghost of the savannah. Once it has identified its prey, be it a small antelope or a careless baboon, it approaches with infinite patience. With an explosive burst of energy, the leopard seizes its victim, dispatching it with a precise bite. And before any other predator is aware, it has carried its prize aloft. With impressive strength that allows it to carry prey twice its own weight, it hauls its meal high into the trees, beyond the reach of hyenas and lions. While the leopard moves silently under the cover of night, in another corner of the savannah, under the harsh light of day, a group of small mammals stands on their hind legs, vigilantly scanning the horizon. These are meerkats, creatures weighing just over 2 pounds, whose collective strategy is a model of social intelligence. Living in groups called mobs or clans, meerkats can number up to 40 individuals. Each member plays an essential role. Sentinels stand erect, their heads swiveling in all directions to detect threats like eagles or jackals. At the slightest sign of danger, they emit a piercing alarm call, and the entire group vanishes in an instant, diving into their underground burrows. These burrows are true fortresses, with multiple entrances and extensive tunnels, providing shelter from both enemies and the extreme temperatures. Their diet consists of insects, small vertebrates, and even scorpions, which they handle skillfully to avoid the venomous sting. Despite their small size, meerkats display incredible courage. A group may confront a venomous snake, distracting and attacking it from multiple angles until the intruder is driven from their territory. These two worlds, one of the solitary predator and the other of the cooperative community, illustrate the contrasting paths to the same goal: survival on the savannah. Both depend on sophisticated strategies and a perfect understanding of their environment. The sun rises again over the savannah, and with it, one of the continent's most efficient hunters awakens, the African wild dog. With its mottled coat and large round ears, its unique appearance is as striking as its skills. Weighing around 66 pounds, Lycaon pictus lacks the majesty of the lion or the speed of the cheetah, but it compensates for its modest size with brilliant strategy and cooperation. These predators live in tightly knit packs, where each member has a specific function and leadership is strictly observed. Before a hunt, the group gathers in a remarkable scene. They touch, vocalize, and wag their tails in an almost festive atmosphere. Once on the move, their tactic is a display of efficiency. They pursue their prey relentlessly, taking turns to lead the chase and force their quarry to run continuously. Their success rate is astonishing. In up to 80% of their hunts, the pack secures a meal. And unlike many other predators, wild dogs exhibit altruistic behavior. The youngest and weakest members of the pack are the first to eat. More discreet, but no less cunning, the black-backed jackal appears in the distance, moving with light, watchful steps, weighing between 17 and 22 pounds. It is a born opportunist, skillfully adapting to the changes in its environment. The black-backed jackal is a versatile survivor. It feeds on small mammals, eggs, fruits, and the carrion left by other predators. This varied diet allows it to thrive where others might fail. Often seen in pairs or small family groups, it uses its intelligence to avoid confrontations. The wild dog and the black-backed jackal may seem like secondary characters in a drama dominated by lions and elephants, but their ecological importance is undeniable. By hunting and scavenging, they help to control small animal populations and keep the savannah clean, preventing the spread of disease. As dusk falls, the wild dog pack gathers to rest after a successful hunt, licking their wounds and reinforcing their bonds with touches and playful antics. Nearby, the black-backed jackal quietly departs, carrying a small carcass to share with its mate. Two very different predators, yet linked by the same survival skill, adaptation. As the sun sets once more, the savannah is draped in brilliant hues of orange and red. The cycle of day and night is complete, as is the delicate balance of all the species that share this vast natural stage. The African savanna is a living stage, where each dawn brings new stories of struggle, survival, and adaptation. From the majestic elephants to the discreet black-backed jackals, every creature, great or small, plays an essential role in the balance of this captivating ecosystem. Here, life is a constant cycle. Predator and prey, flora and fauna, are all interconnected in a complex web of relationships. And though it is often a setting for unforgiving challenges, it is also a place of natural harmony, where strength, ingenuity, and cooperation ensure the persistence of all life. Welcome to the most primal arena on Earth. Serengeti, a mythical land where time seems to stand still in the most primal dances of survival on Earth. In the southeast, the Naidutu region emerges as an epic canvas amidst the wild and harsh landscape of the dark continent. At an elevation of 3,900 feet above sea level, the air here is always thick with the scent of dust and life. This is an open plain, a sanctuary molded from nutrient-rich basaltic soils. Ancient volcanic eruptions have left an invaluable geological legacy on this land. Ash from the majestic Ngorongoro highlands has covered everything, creating a strangely fertile soil. It is this very ash that has nurtured the protein-rich short grasslands, the foundation of an entire characteristic ecosystem. Although water here is as scarce as gold, Ndutu is still home to millions of wild creatures. The drought-resistant short grasses are a vast banquet for the herds of wildebeest and zebra. This endless grassland not only sustains life, but is also the fierce arena of the food chain. It provides an essential habitat for elite hunters, like lions and cheetahs. In the scorching heat of this semi-arid region, the ability to adapt is the only ticket to survival. Look at the bat-eared fox, a perfect testament to the sophistication of evolution. Its enormous ears not only enhance its hearing, but also serve as an excellent natural cooling system. This small fox silently dominates the world of insects, especially termites and beetles. Ndutu also conceals mysterious and powerful seasonal lakes. Lake Ndutu appears as a temporary oasis, yet it is decisive for the fate of all species. Though they appear only for a short time, these lakes are the lifeblood that supplies water to the entire region. From November to May, heavy rains pour down, reviving the entire landscape. The accumulated rainwater creates temporary but essential living conditions for the wildlife. Wildebeest and zebra gather around the lake to quench their thirst under the harsh sun. Meanwhile, nocturnal assassins like lions take advantage of the darkness to set up their ambushes. The Thompson's gazelle finds its paradise on these open surfaces and sparse vegetation. The clear visibility helps them easily spot lurking dangers from afar. The rainy season brings lush green grass, a precious source of energy for this slender antelope. But when the dry season knocks, food sources become scarce, forcing them to embark on a new journey. The Thompson's gazelle is compelled to move in large herds in search of greener, promised lands. They often join the great migratory torrent of wildebeest and zebra to increase their chances of survival. Weighing less than 66 pounds, it is a symbol of agility and superior adaptability. The body of the Thompson's gazelle is a biological machine optimized over millions of years of evolution. Its long legs and flexible muscles allow it to reach astounding speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. This speed is not just a number. It is the line between life and death in every chase. Natural selection has honed this animal into one of the fastest sprinters on the planet. They live in small groups, maintaining constant vigilance against every rustle of the grass. During the breeding season, these small groups merge into a colossal army that covers the horizon. Their organized movement is a highly effective collective defense tactic. Each individual in the herd acts as an early warning system, watching every angle around them. When faced with death, They use a spectacular zigzag running tactic to confuse their enemies. Sharp turns at high speed can frustrate even the fastest cheetahs. In the Serengeti ecosystem, the Thompson's gazelle holds a central role in the complex food web. They are an important source of protein for large predators such as lions and hyenas. The breeding season is the most vulnerable time, when newborn calves become easy targets. The young, with their light brown coats and distinctive black stripes, have a remarkable ability to camouflage. They lie motionless among the short grass clumps, awaiting protection from their mothers and nature. This hiding strategy helps increase their chances of survival during the perilous first weeks of life. Thompson's gazelles not only eat grass, but they can also consume low-lying shrubs when conditions become harsh. Their ability to absorb water from plants allows them to survive without needing to seek out water sources frequently. By grazing, they act as gardeners, controlling the growth of the vegetation. This creates space for new plant species to grow, maintaining the biodiversity of the grasslands. Their presence helps to improve soil quality, supporting the sustainable development of the entire system. When the rainy season arrives, the brilliant light shines upon the proudly moving herds of plain zebra, the image of thousands of zebras moving in long lines across the vast landscape is a breathtaking sight. An estimated 200,000 zebras converge in Ndutu at the peak of the migration. Their distinctive black and white striped coats are one of nature's greatest masterpieces. These vertical and horizontal stripes create a visual disturbance, making it difficult for predators to single out a target. Additionally, this coat helps to minimize attacks from harmful, disease-carrying insects. Plains zebras can be found in many places, but it is in Ndutu that they truly thrive. At this medium altitude, the low vegetation provides a stable, year-round food source. The 20 inches of annual rainfall is sufficient to regenerate the fertile grasslands for the large herds. The social life of the zebra is tightly organized around small family groups. A powerful lead stallion is responsible for protecting and leading the females and their young. During the breeding season, this bond creates incredibly stable and united social structures. Unlike wildebeest, zebras employ a flexible, year-round breeding strategy. This helps them to distribute resources efficiently and reduce competition for food. The gestation period lasts over a year to ensure that the foal is born in the best possible condition. Just a few hours after birth, a zebra foal can stand and run with the herd to stay safe. This rapid maturation is a key factor in their survival in an environment teeming with predators. Zebras act as pioneers in the grazer ecosystem. They graze on the tough upper layers of grass, exposing the soft, young shoots beneath for the antelope species. Their continuous grazing helps to maintain the stability and vitality of the Serengeti grasslands. Their dung enriches the soil, creating a habitat for millions of beneficial insects. To survive in this place full of threats, zebras need outstanding survival skills. They can reach speeds of 40 miles per hour to escape the clutches of a lion. When attacked, the entire herd often scatters in chaotic trajectories to disorient the predator. The adult zebras will form a protective circle, directing thunderous kicks towards the enemy. The symbiosis between zebras and wildebeest is one of the most remarkable supportive relationships. Zebras lead the way in search of new pastures, while wildebeest are adept at locating water sources. For the wildebeest, Ndutu is the stage for their most sacred phase, the mass birthing season. Blue wildebeest are known as the greatest marathon runners of the wild world. Over 1.5 million individuals participate in the arduous journey through the Serengeti and Masai Mara. The journey begins in Ndutu from January to March, when the rains fall and the green grass begins to rise. This is the time when a biological miracle occurs. Over 500,000 calves are born in a short period. On average, there are over 8,000 new births each day, turning the plains into a gigantic nursery. This event has a profound impact on the balance of the entire Serengeti and Ndutu ecosystem. Synchronized birthing is a clever evolutionary strategy to protect the species. Nearly 80% of the total calves of this species are born right here in the Ndutu area. This strategy creates a prey saturation phenomenon, paralyzing the hunting capabilities of predators. Even so, death always lurks for the newborns in this harsh environment. "40% of the calves will become a meal for lions and hyenas in their very first season. The harshness of nature turns every moment into an unending struggle for survival. From the moment they are born, wildebeest calves exhibit an incredible survival instinct. Just a few minutes after birth, they must stand up and move with the herd to avoid being left behind. This innate agility is a vital factor in helping them escape the clutches of waiting hunters. The wildebeest herds create a collective chaos that makes it difficult for predators to focus on a single target. Under the harsh Serengeti sun, the image of a cheetah crossing the plain appears like a phantom of speed. Each of its strides is a perfect combination of muscular power and the elegant beauty of nature. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on the planet, a masterpiece of biological engineering. Climate change and habitat loss have pushed them into their last strongholds in Africa. In the Serengeti, particularly Ndutu, the cheetah finds its ideal arena with wide open spaces. The short grasslands are home to Thompson's gazelles and wildebeest, their primary food sources. With a hunting success rate of nearly 50%, the cheetah is one of the most effective hunters. This efficiency comes from its ability to select a target and finish the job quickly. A hunt usually begins at a very short distance to optimize the explosive burst of energy. Once a target is identified, the cheetah begins a dramatic, high-speed chase. Its ability to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds is a feat of nature. A lightweight bone structure and a flexible spine allow it to take long, powerful strides. Its long tail acts as a rudder, helping it to maintain balance during sharp turns at high speed. Semi-retractable claws act like spikes on a running shoe, gripping the arid ground. However, the price of extreme speed is the enormous energy expenditure of the body. A chase rarely lasts more than 30 seconds to prevent the body from overheating. After taking down its prey, the cheetah faces the risk of having it stolen by larger rivals. It is forced to eat quickly or drag the carcass to a secluded spot to avoid the prying eyes of lions and hyenas. By preying on small grazers, the cheetah helps to maintain the balance of the local vegetation. Its presence is a testament to the biodiversity and health of the Serengeti ecosystem. But the cheetah is facing serious threats from human encroachment. Conservation programs are working hard to maintain the natural habitat for this magnificent cat. As dusk falls, the roar of the male lion echoes across the savannah, declaring his dominion. That sound is not just a territorial warning, but also an assertion of the absolute power of the king. Weighing nearly 440 pounds, the Serengeti lion is the embodiment of strength and authority. The landscape of low grasslands and sparse thickets is their ideal operational terrain. Thanks to conservation efforts, the lion population in Nedutu has shown encouraging signs of recovery. A lion pride is typically organized in a tight social structure of 10 to 15 individuals. The females take on the primary roles of hunting and raising the future generation. Meanwhile, the dominant male is a steadfast bastion protecting the pride from external threats. Living in a pride helps lions increase their hunting efficiency and better protect their young from enemies like hyenas. However, the world of lions is not without its fierce internal power struggles. A dominant male can hear the roar of a rival from a distance of 5 miles. These battles for territory are often bloody, deciding the survival of an entire lineage. Lions are the only big cats with social behavior, allowing them to execute complex hunting tactics. Their preferred prey are large animals such as zebras, wildebeest, and buffalo. Despite their formidable strength, their hunting success rate is only around 30%. The lionesses often coordinate seamlessly, surrounding the prey from multiple sides to block any escape route. When faced with tough prey like buffalo, the strength of the males is called upon. The weight and bite of a male lion can bring down giants that the females cannot handle alone. A large kill is enough to feed the entire lion family for several days. After the king's feast, the characteristic sneeze of the African wild dog begins to sound in the night. The African wild dog is the most critically endangered predator. Their existence is threatened by habitat loss and fierce competition from lions. Once declared extinct in the Serengeti in 1992, they are slowly returning thanks to reintroduction efforts. African wild dogs are a symbol of speed, endurance, and absolute solidarity. A pack of wild dogs can travel 12 miles a day in search of a target. Their social structure is based on high levels of cooperation, where the entire pack cares for the young and injured individuals. Only the alpha pair is allowed to reproduce, while the other members act as hunters and nannies. Their hunting skill is not based on explosive power, but on relentless persistence to the very end. With a speed of 44 miles per hour, they chase their prey until the target is completely exhausted. The wild dog's hunting success rate reaches an astonishing 80%, a remarkable figure in the natural world. They play an important role in regulating grazer populations and preventing overgrazing. The leftovers from their hunts are a valuable food source for vultures and jackals. Not only the grasslands, but salt lakes like Lake Ndutu are also incredibly important biological hotspots. As dawn breaks, thousands of lesser flamingos create a soft pink ribbon on the water's surface. They travel hundreds of miles in search of mineral-rich salt lakes for feeding. The high salinity and alkalinity of the lake are the perfect environment for the growth of spirulina algae. The lesser flamingo has evolved a specialized filter in its beak to exploit this food source. Their legs have a special skin that helps to resist the corrosive effects of the saltwater and highly alkaline environment. By feeding on algae, they help to prevent eutrophication and protect the water quality of the lake. Their cohesive social behavior helps flamingos to maintain safety and synchrony during their long migrations. Besides the flamingo, the grey-crowned crane is also a symbol of beauty in the Ndutu wetlands. Its vibrant golden crest makes the grey-crowned crane look like aristocrats strolling through the grasslands. They perform elegant courtship dances to strengthen their strong pair bonds. The grey-crowned crane is the only species in the crane family capable of perching and nesting in tall trees. They have a varied diet, from seeds to insects and small amphibians in the marshlands. The presence of the grey-crowned crane is an important indicator of the health of the wetland ecosystem. However, this beautiful bird is seriously threatened by the shrinking of wetland areas. Leaving Ndutu, the Grumeti River in the Western Corridor is home to fearsome aquatic predators. Nile crocodiles, monsters from the Jurassic era, are silently waiting beneath the murky waters. At 20 feet long, they possess the most powerful bite force in the modern animal world. Each migration season, the Grumeti River becomes a deadly bottleneck for the wildebeest herds. Crocodiles use the death roll technique to take down large prey in an instant. They are masters of fasting, able to survive for months on stored energy alone. The Nile crocodile plays a role in controlling ungulate populations and cleaning up carcasses in the river. Grumeti is also a fierce battleground for territory between crocodiles and the giant hippos. Hippos, though herbivores, top the list of the most dangerous animals to humans. Weighing 1.5 tons, they are the third heaviest land animal in Africa. Hippos share a surprisingly close evolutionary relationship with modern whales and dolphins. Their thick skin secretes a red fluid that helps protect their bodies from the sun. They spend most of the day in the water to regulate their body temperature and protect their young. Hippos are great ecological engineers. Their dung provides nutrients for the entire river system. The trails created by hippos become corridors of movement for many other animal species. In the western corridor, the chilling laughter of the spotted hyena signals a new struggle for survival. Spotted hyenas are not just scavengers. They are highly sophisticated cooperative hunters. The hyena's hunting success rate reaches 70%, far surpassing that of the lion king. They possess extremely powerful jaws, with enough pressure to crush the toughest buffalo bones. Hyena society is dominated by females, exhibiting a strict matriarchal structure. They act as the sanitation workers of the savannah, helping to prevent the spread of disease. High in the sky, Ruppel's griffon vulture is soaring at a record altitude of 36,000 feet. Their superhuman vision allows them to spot a carcass from a distance of over 4 miles. A flock of vultures can completely clean a wildebeest carcass in just 30 short minutes. They help to recycle nutrients back into the soil, supporting the growth of grass in the next season. The marabou stork, the undertaker bird, also lines up quietly along the riverbank, waiting for its share. A wingspan of 12 feet helps them to glide effortlessly over the vast spaces of the Serengeti. They play a crucial role in removing decomposing organic matter from the water environment. In the northern Serengeti, the Lobo area offers a wild beauty with its rocky, hilly terrain. The mix of bushland and grassland creates an ideal refuge for hoofed animals. September to October is when the reverse migration from Kenya back to Tanzania passes through this land.